Would you want Southgate at your club? Would you be ocks? Get your views into theatre at football365.com ahead of England's Euro 2020 semi-final against Denmark. Would you want Southgate managing your club? Hi, I don't want to piss on everyone's chips, but Gareth has had the easiest run of any England manager since the start of the last World Cup. Qualification for tournaments is a bye these days, big teams just can't fail, Holland accepted. 99/100s he puts his good group of players out, and they steamroll the opposition. The only time Gareth has had to actually step up to manage the team was against Croatia in the World Cup and he failed miserably. It's unbelievable luck that the only challenge in a whole tournament could be the final, should they beat Denmark. To me, Southgate is a good figurehead, a statesman in the game. He could probably run the FA in a few years, but he's not a good football manager. The people lauding Southgate for his tactical acumen and decision-making need to ask themselves this question: would you want him managing your club? Would you bullocks? Thanks, Andy. Anyone but England. You have to love Gareth Southgate. A man of total dignity and class who has had that penalty miss to carry for over a quarter of a century. Marcus Rashford, a young man with more honor than the combined governments of, well, the world probably. Raheem Sterling, a leader in the highlighting of the media's portrayal of footballers dependent on race. I could go on. The whole squad, maybe for the first time, is full of genuine quality and class, generally free from the likes of roasting headlines so prevalent in the early noughties. And yet, as an Irishman who supports Aston Villa, has lots of family connections in Liverpool, isn't too upset that Grealish and Rice jumped ship, who could blame them, seriously, and has experience of meeting many great people in English football, I pray with all my heart that the hurt goes on. In summary, reference above obviously excludes Kyle Walker, a total SHT by all accounts. Paul, Dublin. Two things can be true, folks. It's not really controversial to say England have been better than the other teams they've played so far and look like a good side. It's not really controversial to say they've had a kind draw and have been lucky to play so many games at home. Winning tournaments takes a combination of ability and luck. So far it looks like England have both. It should be perfectly acceptable to say that England have been good and lucky. In my experience, that's the ideal combination. Doug, AFC, Belfast, England. What happens next? Having read your Top 10 Moments article regarding England's remarkable, yet also boring in places, journey to the Euro 2020 semis, stemming all the way back to the 2016 Euros, it got me thinking about how Gareth Southgate, being the savior he has been, didn't want the job to begin with, and more importantly, how the FA were given a get-out-of-jail-free card when Big Sam decided to order a pint of wine and let rip in a Singaporean bar. We will never know what changes Alardis would have implemented if he had been afforded the time to bed them in, even after the Daily Telegraph sting. But I can't for a second imagine that his plan, if there ever was one, would have had the impact that Southgate's has had so far. Many will continue to grumble at the spectacle served on the pitch regardless of the results the playing style brings, but it's the work done off the pitch that has transformed the results on it. Now, taking that all into account, it would be nice to see England sustain this level of success through a succession of players and managers in the coming years. When Southgate decides he has had enough, who do we look to carry on the work he has done? The England manager pool has always been shallow, but surely now would be the best time to start investing in British managers properly, so that when Southgate goes, we have a neat conveyor belt of informed and experienced managers to take his place. It is both amazing and somewhat unsurprising that as Joachim Low exits through one door, Hansi Flick is being ushered in another, off the back of his recent success with Bayern, but also his success as Low's assistant up to and including their 2014 World Cup victory. While Steve Holland may be given first refusal in the wake of GS leaving, who else are we prepping for that eventuality? While I'm sure we are all happy with the breadth of talent available to us currently, and the age group teams also have talent that stretches the potential for England's success into the next decade, who do we have, if not ready, but certainly on the cusp of readiness to coach these players in the right way to reap the benefits of their talent? Because as it stands, the paucity of candidates is disheartening, and it's most likely to lead to another golden generation wasted. Or, we just nick a spare German. Either way, I'm on board. James F. BCFC Crow. Arsenal missed out on Mancini. When Arsene Wenger was due to leave Arsenal, I said the man to take over was Mancini. You wonderful people at F365 even published my idea. Fast forward 4 years and Mancini has turned Italy into potentially one of the greatest international teams of a generation. When you consider the relative lack of talent, there is no superstars here. Just two very old Juve legends peppered with nearly men or up-and-coming youngsters. Few have won anything, commanded large transfer fees, or have a lot of international or European experience, except the centre-backs. This is the opposite of a golden generation, yet Mancini has fashioned them into a team that is much greater than the sum of their parts. They have gone further than many teams with much more talent. France, Belgium, and Portugal are flexible in terms of changing tactics and are also at home in multiple formations. Imagine what Mancini would have done if he had gone to Arsenal after Wenger. I would guess we would have at least got back into the Champions League. At the time I sent the email, Mancini was available. What if? Cheers, Paul K. London. Jermaine Jean. A lot of things in football make me cringe, but Jermaine Jean is presenting the youth spin-off MOTDX makes me shudder more than anything. FFS. The guy is 38 years old. Only a few months older than myself. He reminds me of Joey out of Friends dressing up as a 19-year-old for an audition and declaring that PlayStation is whack. At RUBYM83, football is coming home, sadly COVID is staying home. Prediction: I just finished the 2020-21 season in my football manager game and England won the Euros, and guess who took them all the way? Yeah, you guessed right. It's yours truly. Kane and John Stones scored in a 2-1 extra time win over the Netherlands, and guess what the headline read after the game? Al-Arab, Southgate, brings joy to the faces of the English. So yeah, it's definitely coming home. For this I have seen. Go England. Al-Arab G. Festac. Love from Nigeria.